Roll VTR, 60 seconds live.
Stand by. Loading 1, 2, and effects 2. No, we're live at 60.
Out to the right. Rudy flush. Throws it down.
Going to be fielded by Lorenzo Neal at the 25. Uses it back to wide.
30 seconds live.
Across the field to Dyson. He's got something. He's got something. He's got it. He's got it. He's got it. End zone. Touchdown. Tyson. There are no flags on the field. There's a long drive.
In 3, 2.
What's your name, boy?
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Scoop Podcast Show. You guys know who I am. No need for introduction. For those who do not know, I'm your host, Sean Harris. Follow the Scoop Talk Show on Facebook, facebook.com/The Scoop Talk Show. You can find the Scoop Talk Show on Twitter at Cesar19. That's CEZAAR19. You can also check out some of the archives on YouTube. Just type in the Scoop Talk Show on YouTube, and all the archives will pull up. You can follow me on Tumblr, as well as you can also catch my blogs on the Scoop Talk Show at blogspot.com. We got some NFL going on today. We're going to talk a little bit about NBA. Metta World Pieces made the news in the NBA. First time in a while for him. Then we're going to get off into some NASCAR. I think this is a topic that coincides with some of the issues that's going on with race and diversity in this country. So let's kick it off right here with the NFL. Colin Kaepernick. Ever since he made the protest several weeks ago, been taken off by storm. He's getting a lot of support. But at the same time, too, he's getting a lot of people that is much against all of this. Every time you turn around, you look up on the news, you go online, you go on your smart devices. There's always something popping up about him these days. Well, the latest has just came out that now he is receiving death threats.
What's going on around here?
Yes, I said it. He is receiving death threats for what he's doing. Now, I don't know about everyone out there listening to me right now, but I think that's going a little bit to the extreme now. It's going a little bit overboard, and it's getting to be too much.
Right.
Or too much out of control. All this guy did was take a knee. First couple of times he did it, nobody never really noticed. Nobody paid attention. Nobody never even cared. Even in the stands, watching the game. But then when it was broadcast on national TV that he did it, so now all of a sudden it's a big deal. Now all of a sudden he's disrespecting the flag. He's disrespecting the military.
Say what?
He's disrespecting what this country stands for. And he is not doing that at all. He was specific in what he said. He said this has nothing to do with the military. This has nothing to do with the flag. It's to do with the social injustice of minorities in this country, with all the things that's been happening, particularly within the last few years. Black men getting killed in the street. And they unarmed on top of that. The latest was in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Terrence Crutcher. This young man, 40 years old, car was stranded in the middle of the road, and all he was looking for was for some assistance on his vehicle. 4 officers came to the scene, 3 male, 1 female.
Oh, come on, this is enough.
Thought he was a threat. Thought he was being non-compliant. See, that's that key word there. Like Shannon Sharp say, non-compliant. This gentleman had his hands clearly up in the air. He was unarmed. he was tased before he was shot and killed. Now, just over the weekend, you had a gentleman, a white gentleman, set off a pressure cooker bomb, and he had two of them, but one didn't detonate, one did, injuring 29 people. He got into a standoff with police, shot two officers, killing one. The other one was saved by the vest that they was wearing, and they took him alive. And they clearly stated that he was armed and dangerous. But yet still, they took him alive, and now you got an unarmed man over here, and they shot him dead. Not only they shot him, but they tased him. On top of that, stood around and watched him bleed to death. And this is the type of thing that Colin Kaepernick is talking about. It's the social injustice that's going on in this country that he's fed up with. And clearly, every time I look and see him on television and they ask him questions, he seemed to be the smartest guy in the room, I tell you that.
This is deep. I'm going deep.
This is not something that he woke up one day and said, you know what, I think I'm going to go ahead and do this. No, this is something that he thought about. This is something that he researched on, got some knowledge about, and just said, well, you know what? I'm going to pick the platform of the NFL stage to do this. So that's what he did. Now, Marshawn Lynch was on Conan O'Brien, and he gave his views on the matter. Let's listen to it.
You know, I'd rather see him take a knee than stand up, put his hands up, and get murdered. So, I mean, my take on it is it got to start somewhere, and if that was the starting point, I just hope people open up their eyes to see that it's really a problem going on and something needs to be done for it to stop. And I mean, if you're really not racist, then you won't see what he's doing as a threat to America, but just addressing the problem that we have.
That was Marshawn Lynch on Conan. He's one of the players or former players around the world of sports is showing his support towards what Colin Kaepernick did. And like he said before, if you're a real patriot, you will understand what he's trying to do. Not be upset about what it is he's so-called disrespecting.
Right.
Now here's Colin Kaepernick talking about what's happening and why he's doing, or why he's still doing what he's doing with his cause.
If something like that were to happen, you've proved my point. And it'll be loud and clear for everyone why it happened, and that would move this movement forward at a greater speed than what it is even now. Granted, I don't want that to happen very often, but that's the realization of what could happen. There's a lot of racism disguised as patriotism in this country. They don't like to address the issue that's people of color being oppressed and treated unjustly.
That was Colin Kaepernick. And he is right about one thing that he said in the comment that he made. If they was to do that thing that everybody is saying that asked him that question, or the one particular reporter that asked that question, then it just proved him right. It proved him right all along. But to be honest with you, we don't need another martyr. We really don't. We just want America to understand our side of the issue. That's all we want. We want a fair seat at the table. That's all we want out of it. And he also mentioned that racism is a cover-up for patriotism, which he's exactly right about that.
This is deep.
Because anybody that is patriotic is going to get frustrated and tired of seeing this country doing people so badly. We're talking about minorities. We're talking about the poor. We're talking about people that are making low-paying jobs and barely can support their families. Everything. Because a real patriot will want fair equality for every citizen in the United States, regardless what color they are. That's what a real patriot will be looking for and how they will be feeling about it. And like Marshawn Lynch said, if they open their eyes and see what it is that he's trying to do, they will see that it's not a big deal. It's something that can be easily fixed. The only way that racism can even take a step forward in the right direction to healing in this country is that Americans have to accept that this is going on and something needs to be done about it.
I'm going deep.
It's not going to take politics to move things. It's going to force politics to move things because it's going to take the American people to engage, to dialogue, to come together, to want to make change happen in this country on this issue. And when that happens, that's when America will begin to start the healing process of changing for the better for all the citizens in this country. I hope anything doesn't happen to him with these death threats. I just hope it's just somebody out there or people out there, cowards, that are trying to scare him out of not doing what he's doing, to make him stop doing what he's doing. Nobody deserves that. Because when you're trying to do the right thing and you are in position to do the right thing, which is Colin Kaepernick is, he's an athlete. He makes quite a bit of money. He's a celebrity figure at best in some degree. But he knows that he can't just sit back and not do nothing. And as a result of what he did, now he has athletes in the NFL. He has athletes in NBA. He has athletes in several other sport organizations that are on board and understand that something got to be done about this. No more. No more.
This is the real deal.
Moving on to the NBA. Well, Metta World Peace and the Los Angeles Lakers have reached an agreement today. The agreement is unguaranteed, of course, but it's for 1 year. For 1 year. And that will guarantee Metta World Peace will be joining the team in training camp. With the addition of Lou Aldang and Brandon Ingram, Metta World Peace really probably won't see that much minutes unless he's a starter, because they're going to take most of the minutes. But it all depends on what first-time head coach Luke Walton wants to do with that offense, with that rotation, how they're going to put him in and everything like that. Metta World Peace is now 36 years old. He probably ain't got much left in the tank to go. But we'll just have to see what he'll do with the Los Angeles Lakers this coming season. He played for them last year, of course. He played in 35 games. He started 5 of them. He averaged 16 minutes during those starts, and he only averaged 5 points a game. Now, the question is, will he be the person that will bring the much-needed improvement to the Lakers team on both sides of the basketball, offense and defense? Because after all, like I said, he's 36 years old. And the first-time head coach Luke Walton is going to work with him and see what's up with that. I don't know how interesting that will be, but all in all, after all, Metta World Peace is a great player. He's a great player. Defensive-wise, I put him up there. Head coach Luke Walton is going to work with him. Going to give him a chance and see what he can do. So, good luck to Metta. Good luck to the Los Angeles Lakers season this year. This will be the first season without Kobe after Kobe retired. And with the new additions that they have in place, let's see how far that they will go. Moving on to NASCAR. Yes, I'm talking about NASCAR racing. I watch it as well. I cover it as well. Well, reports coming out of CNN that they have now been hit with a $500 million lawsuit by Terrence Cox III. He is the CEO of Diversity Motorsports Racing. And not only that he hit NASCAR with the lawsuit, but all 18 NASCAR teams as well on this lawsuit, claiming that they refuse to let minority-owned companies bring the team into the series.
Snap now.
Back in 2016, motorsports, which he owns, remained mostly racially segregated sport in the United States. Cox said this in his complaint. NASCAR has been complicit of it and supportive of it. So they already know that his company is all black. And they know this. But he goes on to make the claim that they're not allowing his company to be in it. Now, on Monday, a spokesperson for NASCAR denied these allegations, telling TMZ Sports. They said, and I quote, "embraces all individual interests and involved in our sport," while vowing to sue Cox for defamation. Monday, a spokesperson from NASCAR denied these allegations, telling TMZ Sports. It said, and I quote, "embraces all individuals' interests and involved in our sport," unquote. So NASCAR is saying that they don't mind him coming in. They don't mind him bringing his team in. They don't mind his company being in there. But they also got a lawsuit of their own claiming Cox for defamation.
Snap now.
In the lawsuit, Cox is seeking $75 million in compensatory damages and another $425 million in punitive damages. Now, in the last 50 years, NASCAR has never had a minority owner bring a team in. But there have been drivers, 3 of them, starting with Wendell Scott. He raced from 1961 to 1973 and became the first African American to start a NASCAR race. And he took the green flag in Spartanburg, South Carolina in 1961. Second was Willie T. Ribbs back in 1986. At that time, there was no African Americans in NASCAR from 1973. Rib started 3 races in 1986. He finished 13 laps down in that race at 22nd. Bill Lester, 2006 to this point. He got his Busch Series start in 1999, but didn't land a full-time NASCAR ride right away. He started full-time in NASCAR Truck Series in 2002. Bill Lester finally got his first NASCAR Sprint Cup Series in 2006 when he was placed in the 2006 Golden Corral 500. What he's doing today, he's currently racing cars in the Rolodex Grand Am Series. But from what I understand, NASCAR wants to encourage more minority involvement in racing. It can help reach a huge portion of the population that has not yet been embraced by the sport. So, you have a lot of people really not into NASCAR, particularly minorities, because they don't understand the sport. So if you don't understand anything, you don't have an interest in nothing.
Right.
Will this lawsuit bring awareness to NASCAR in regards to getting more minorities to start engaging and watching it? Because after all, one of the things that I've understand about people not watching it is because they say, oh, it's too many laps and it's boring, and you're just sitting there watching it on TV, or you're sitting at the speedway and you just watching them go around and around and around and around. I could be doing something else if I'm watching that at home. I could be thinking about doing something else while I'm there at the speedway. The only excitement comes out of it is when they crash or another driver gets into a fight with another driver. But other than that, that's why majority of people, particularly minorities, don't watch the sport. So now that this is out in the open with this lawsuit, we'll just have to wait and see how things play out and see if either Cox in the right or in the wrong with all of this, or NASCAR is in the right and the wrong with all of this. Do I think it'll be a settlement that comes out of this? No. I don't think it'll be a settlement coming up out of this at all. Both sides are at a stalemate. Both sides is standing firm on their allegations. Cox is standing firm on his allegation. NASCAR is standing firm on their allegations of what he's trying to do to them. I don't think that's going to be a budge or a movement towards whatsoever of them talking about settling. At all. Either one is going to win or the other is going to lose. Just that simple. But we'll keep up with that story as it develops, like we always do with the Scoop Talk Show. So follow the Scoop Talk Show on Facebook. Facebook.com/The Scoop Talk Show. You can find the Scoop Talk Show on Twitter at Cesar19. That's CEZAAR19. You can also check out some of the archives on YouTube. Just type in the Scoop Talk Show on YouTube and all the archives will pull up. You can follow me on Tumblr. As well as you can also catch my blogs on the Scoop Talk Show at blogspot.com. Well, that's my time, everyone. Glad that you can sit in on another edition of the Scoop Podcast Show with your host, Sean Harris. And like always, without you, this show would not be possible. I'm out of here like the breeze through the trees, and when I'm gone, I'm taking all the lead. Peace. Take care, and I'll see you next time.